With Deadpool and Wolverine giving us all the dopamine hits we could hope for, it's hard not to think about what's next. Will there be a Deadpool 4? Where could the story go from here? Ryan Reynolds recently addressed the possibility of Deadpool 4, plus fans are already speculating about a new MCU love interest for Deadpool. Yep, some are even saying, "Sorry Vanessa, we're ready for someone new." Sounds wild, right? But hey, it's a real conversation happening. So, without dragging this out with more crazy theories, let's get into everything we know so far about the future of Deadpool in the MCU. The MCU is known for making the most of its characters. Just look at Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Before retiring from the role, he showed up in 9 movies, including 3 that were all about Iron Man. Thor's had 4 solo films, so there's definitely room for Deadpool to keep popping up. Ryan Reynolds has already appeared as Deadpool in 3 movies, not to mention his first, rather infamous portrayal of the character in 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine. Over the years, Wade Wilson has grown into one of Marvel's most loved and chaotic heroes, even outside the MCU. Now that he's finally part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fans are buzzing about when and where he might return. Could he headline Deadpool 4? Or maybe a bigger team-up like Avengers is on the cards. The MCU loves to mix characters into major crossover events. If Deadpool's return isn't in his own movie, Avengers Secret Wars feels like the perfect fit. After all, the multiverse is a total mess right now, and we all know Wade thrives in chaos. Avengers 5 is another option, though with the recent changes to the Kang storyline, that one's a bit more up in the air. And let's not forget Deadpool's mutant roots. He's played a big role in shaping the Fox X-Men universe, and with the MCU likely gearing up for a new X-Men movie, it wouldn't be surprising to see him usher in the mutant era. Whether it's Deadpool 4, Avengers, or an X-Men reboot, the possibilities for Wade Wilson are endless. Wherever he lands, one thing's for sure, it's going to be ridiculously entertaining. The story for Deadpool 4 will likely depend on how it fits into the larger MCU. With Deadpool and Wolverine, the film had the advantage of existing outside the sacred timeline while playing around with the TVA's rules. Deadpool even managed to save his own timeline by securing a new anchor, keeping his reality intact. That said, this doesn't rule out the possibility of him crossing over fully into the MCU, especially with multiverse-savvy characters like America Chavez in the mix. If Deadpool 4 happens, it'll probably stick to the formula fans love, Deadpool being a reluctant hero, delivering razor-sharp quips, and making room for some epic cameos that he can roast in fourth-wall-breaking fashion. This could also be the film where Deadpool finally joins a superhero team, whether it's the Avengers or the X-Men. At its heart, Wade's story is about protecting the people he loves, his found family, but the direction of the next chapter feels more open-ended than most MCU projects. With the multiverse in full swing and Deadpool's unpredictable nature, the possibilities for where his story could go are practically limitless. Ryan Reynolds recently talked about the possibility of Deadpool 4 almost 4 months after Deadpool and Wolverine hit theaters. It's no surprise that there's already talk of a sequel, considering how successful the film was. The movie not only broke records, but also showed that there's still a ton of excitement for Deadpool now that he's officially part of the MCU. In an interview with Extra TV, after talking about the positive reactions to Deadpool and Wolverine, Reynolds was asked if he'd be up for filming another one. He jokingly responded, "Oh, now bite your tongue. I'd love that, but there's a reason it's been 6 years since the last one. It just sort of swallows my life whole, and I have 4 kids that I wouldn't mind introducing myself to at some point and spending a little time just walking them to and from school." Reynolds made these comments right after Deadpool and Wolverine dropped on Disney+, along with the behind-the-scenes documentary, Assembled, The Making of Deadpool and Wolverine. The documentary really highlights how much work went into making the movie, backing up Reynolds' point about how making Deadpool films takes over his life. His words also give us some idea of when we might actually see a Deadpool and Wolverine sequel. At first, Reynolds' comments about making another Deadpool movie might seem like he's not interested in doing it anytime soon, but that's not really what he's saying. Deadpool and Wolverine is still fresh in everyone's minds, and it made a huge splash in the MCU. It's clear Reynolds loves playing Deadpool, he mentioned it in the interview, and given how well the movie did for Marvel Studios, it's safe to say that Deadpool 4 is probably already on the horizon. What he's really getting at is that he'd like a decent break before diving into it again. Making Deadpool and Wolverine was a big job, and Reynolds, along with the team, spent a lot of time promoting it on a lengthy press tour. Plus, in the MCU, it's typical for there to be a few years between franchise movies. That said, it's still possible we'll see Deadpool in other projects like Avengers: Secret Wars before a potential Deadpool 4. And honestly, given his comments about wanting to spend time with his family, it's totally understandable why Reynolds wouldn't want to jump into another movie right away. But I'm pretty sure this won't be the last time we see Deadpool, especially with how important he is to the multiverse storyline leading up to Secret Wars. While I hope we don't have to wait 6 years like we did between Deadpool 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine, a solid break for Reynolds is definitely deserved. I think it would be awesome if the potential sequel to Deadpool and Wolverine swapped out Vanessa Carlyle for a powerful character we met in Agatha All Along during Phase 5 of the MCU. Morena Baccarin, who's played Vanessa since 2016's Deadpool, has done an amazing job bringing this down-to-earth and funny character to life. But with the way the MCU has been expanding, there's a perfect chance to introduce someone new for Deadpool. Deadpool has had a history of romantic entanglements in the comics. He's dated characters like Carol Danvers, Rogue, Domino, Black Widow, and more. But I've always felt that Lady Death, a character introduced in Agatha All Along, is Deadpool's most significant love interest. After seeing her in that show, I'm convinced that she and Deadpool would have incredible chemistry, especially with Aubrey Plaza playing the role of Death. Plus, her connection to Agatha, whom she had a centuries-long romance with, has now ended, leaving her open to bigger things in the MCU. In the comics, Deadpool first met Lady Death in 1998, and their romance quickly became one of the most iconic and unusual in Marvel history. While Deadpool's immortality curse, courtesy of Thanos, has kept him from being with Lady Death in the past, it makes total sense for them to explore that relationship in the MCU. Given the huge success of Deadpool and Wolverine, I'd love to see this romance take center stage, possibly even replacing Vanessa's role in Wade's life. Now, we did see hints at a rekindling between Wade and Vanessa in Deadpool and Wolverine, but with the MCU's fresh take on things, this could be the perfect moment to fully transition Wade's love story to Lady Death. And if they decide to make Vanessa the villainous copycat, that would just set up Deadpool and Death's team up beautifully. I'm definitely excited to see where this all goes, and if Aubrey Plaza does come back as Death, it would be a game changer for Deadpool's future in the MCU. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.